Best.
What makes him the best?
Pretty much everything. He's one of my favorite people.
As an artist, you hope for that when you get to do a film or tell a story.
Keanu Reeves might be a fan favorite, but he just revealed something that shocked everyone. He has been blacklisted by Hollywood. This is almost too hard to believe because this is the guy known for being humble, generous, and just a good person all around. He is a great actor too, as his films have grossed over $3 billion worldwide. But now we find out that some Hollywood insiders have been trying to push him out. So what could Keanu have possibly done to make Hollywood want him gone? A Hollywood outsider. Keanu Reeves has always been a bit of an outsider in Hollywood, and his journey into the industry shows it. Unlike many stars who seem to fit right into the Hollywood scene, Keanu's path was anything but typical. His career spans over 3 decades, and while he has achieved massive box office success, his story is not just about numbers. It is about how he made it in a world that is not always welcoming to those who do not follow the usual script. Keanu's rise to fame is not your standard Hollywood tale. He was born in Beirut, Lebanon in 1964, and his childhood was filled with constant upheaval. His father left the family when Keanu was just 3 years old, leaving him and his mother to navigate life on their own. Moving from place to place, they lived in cities like Sydney, New York, and Toronto. Keanu attended 4 different high schools in just 5 years. School was tough for him as he struggled with dyslexia, making it even harder to fit in or succeed academically. But despite all the challenges, Keanu found his passion early on, acting. By the time he was just 9 years old, he was already performing on stage. And by 15, he knew this was what he wanted to do with his life. Dropping out of high school at 17, he decided to fully commit to his dream. Let us be real, that is a bold move, especially when you have already had such a rocky start in life. But Keanu was determined, and that determination led him to Los Angeles at the age of 20. His early years in Hollywood were not filled with instant stardom. He took small roles wherever he could, including on a Canadian sitcom called Hanging In.
Yeah, okay, I did it. You see, when American movies come to shoot in Canada, they have to have a certain amount of Canadian content, so you usually end up playing the guy's best friend or his enemy, he's sort of like Jim. Or a secretary, right.
It was not glamorous by any means, but it was a start. In 1986, things began to change when he landed a role in River's Edge, a dark drama that put him on the map. From there, his career started to pick up, and soon he was known for his laid-back, cool demeanor, thanks to roles like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Who could forget that one? Then the 90s came, and Keanu really stepped into the spotlight as an action star with films like Point Break and Speed. It seemed like he was everywhere, and Hollywood finally had a place for him. But while his professional life was booming, his personal life was full of heartbreak. His sister Kim was diagnosed with leukemia, and Keanu took a step back from his career to care for her. Quietly, without making a show of it, he donated millions to cancer research and stayed by his sister's side. This action tells you a lot about the kind of person he is. Someone who values family and compassion over fame and fortune. Keanu's life has been marked by tragedy, losing close friends like River Phoenix to a drug overdose, and later suffering unimaginable grief when his girlfriend, Jennifer Syme, gave birth to their stillborn daughter. Not long after, Jennifer herself died in a car accident. It is the kind of pain that could break anyone. But Keanu stayed strong. He kept going, not for the fame or the spotlight, but because he has always been true to himself. His journey into Hollywood was never about fitting in. It was about staying grounded and being who he is, no matter what. In an industry where egos run high and people are constantly vying for the next big thing, Keanu has remained an outsider by choice, walking his own path with humility and grace. And honestly, that is what makes him stand out even more. So if he is this much of a great guy, why has Hollywood banned him? Clashing with Hollywood norms. Keanu has always seemed like an outsider in the world of glitz and glamour. It is not that he could not fit in, it is that he never really tried to. While others clawed their way to the top, chasing fame, Keanu moved at his own pace with his own set of rules. And that might just be the key to his success and the reason why Hollywood banned him recently. When Keanu first started out in acting, he did not have the immediate fame that some actors experience. He was not the guy with agents beating down his door or casting directors fighting over him. No, his career started with smaller roles, and he had to work his way up. He was like many others trying to make it in Hollywood, taking whatever he could get. But what made Keanu different, even in those early days, was that he was not just about making it big, he was about the craft of acting. He had a quiet determination, a focus on doing what he loved without all the noise that usually comes with Hollywood ambition. His early roles were not huge. They were humble, and for someone with his talent, it could have been frustrating. But Keanu kept at it. He was never the type to let the industry define him. He would not change himself to fit in, and he certainly was not about to compromise on his values just for the sake of landing a bigger part. In that way, Keanu's rise in Hollywood was almost unconventional. Instead of doing what everyone else did, trying to be seen, trying to be noticed, Keanu let his work speak for itself. He focused on his roles and kept a low profile, even when the spotlight was pointed right at him. As he started to gain more recognition, Keanu's approach to his career did not shift. He did not suddenly become obsessed with fame or start chasing after blockbusters. Sure, he took on some big roles. He is known for starring in action films that have earned billions at the box office, but he never let those roles define him. He never became the stereotypical Hollywood star. In fact, he avoided that image as much as possible. He stayed grounded, kept his personal life private, and did not indulge in the flashy lifestyle that so many actors fall into. For Keanu, fame was just a byproduct of doing what he loved. It was never the goal. That is why even when Keanu started landing bigger roles in films like Speed and The Matrix, he never let it change who he was. He did not become the arrogant superstar or someone constantly in the tabloids. Instead, he became known as the down-to-earth actor who was just as comfortable riding the subway as he was on the red carpet. And fans loved him for it. His humility and genuine nature set him apart from the rest of Hollywood, where image is everything, and actors are often consumed by their own celebrity.
Oh.
You think I'm sane?
I do. I really do. I think you are probably one of the sanest actors of the A-listers. I really do, yeah.
Were the other ones all mad?
Yeah.
They're all crazy?
Not all of them, but some of them are. Some of them buy into it.
What makes Keanu's journey so interesting is that he never tried to fit into Hollywood's mold, and yet he became one of the most recognizable actors in the world. He took on roles that interested him, not because they would make him more famous, but because he wanted to tell a good story.
The Matrix changed my life, and then over these years, it's changed so many other people's lives in really positive and great ways. And so, as an artist, you hope for that when you get to do a film or tell a story. And so when you say these years and the amount of people that I've met who have said to me and been touched by The Matrix in such a positive way, it's the best.
That is why you see such a variety in his filmography. He could go from playing a goofy time traveler in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure to a hardened action hero in John Wick, all without missing a beat. He never limited himself to one genre or one type of role, which only made him more intriguing to audiences. But while Keanu was carving out his own path in Hollywood, there were always those who did not quite understand him. He was not playing the game the way they thought he should, and that made him an outsider in the eyes of some. Hollywood likes its stars to behave a certain way, to embrace the fame and flaunt their success. But Keanu never did that. He stayed quiet, kept his head down, and did his work. For some, that might have seemed like he was not playing along. He was not showing up at all the parties or making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Instead, Keanu was living a life outside of the Hollywood bubble, and in doing so, he became even more beloved by fans. Hollywood insiders have always had their own ideas of what makes a star, but Keanu rewrote the rulebook. He has become an icon by being authentic, by staying true to himself and not getting caught up in the fame machine. And that is why he has always been a bit of an outsider. He does not fit the typical Hollywood mold, and frankly, he never wanted to. While others are constantly seeking attention, Keanu is perfectly happy to remain in the background, letting his work speak for itself. In a world where actors often get lost in the glitz and glamour, Keanu has managed to stay grounded. He has shown that you do not have to follow the Hollywood formula to be successful. You do not have to compromise who you are or chase after fame. Sometimes just being yourself is enough. And that is what Keanu's journey has been about, staying true to who he is, no matter what the industry throws at him. This is why it seems strange to think anyone would want to get rid of someone like Keanu, who is known for being humble, generous, and genuine. But as we all know, Hollywood is not always about being kind or decent. It is about control, power, and making sure you follow the rules. And if there is one thing Keanu has shown, it is that he is not interested in playing by those rules. The reasons. Let's start with one of the clearest examples of Hollywood's strange attitude toward Keanu, Matthew Perry's bizarre attack in his memoir. Out of nowhere, Perry took a swipe at Keanu, saying, "Why is it that original thinkers like River Phoenix and Heath Ledger die, but Keanu Reeves still walks among us?" Now that comment did not sit well with anyone. Fans were furious, and the internet was quick to defend Keanu. The backlash was so intense that Perry had to issue an apology, saying he picked Keanu's name at random. But that leaves us with the question, why pick Keanu at all? The truth is, Perry is not the first person to take aim at Keanu, and he probably will not be the last. The resentment toward Keanu has been simmering in Hollywood for years. And while it might not always be out in the open, it is definitely there. In fact, back in 2019, Keanu himself revealed that he was blacklisted by Fox Studios after he refused to star in Speed 2. If you have seen Speed 2, you probably understand why Keanu turned it down. It is widely regarded as one of the worst sequels ever made. Keanu made a smart call by avoiding it, but instead of respecting his decision, Fox blacklisted him. They were upset that he would not go along with their plans, so they punished him by cutting him off from future projects. That is Hollywood for you. If you do not play the game, you are out. Sandra Bullock returned for Speed 2, but Keanu stood his ground. And sure enough, Speed 2 bombed, just as Keanu knew it would. He dodged that bullet, but Fox held a grudge, and Keanu was out of their good graces for over a decade. Keanu's refusal to follow Hollywood's rules does not stop there. In another interview, he talked about how he refuses to allow deep fake technology in his contracts. While some actors might be okay with CGI or deep fakes, Keanu sees the dangers in it. He is fine with using a bit of CGI to enhance a scene, but when it starts replacing the actor's actual performance, he draws the line. In one early experience, a tear was digitally added to his face in a scene where he had not even cried. That moment changed his view on how technology can alter the authenticity of acting. Ever since then, Keanu has been very clear that he will not allow his likeness to be manipulated with deep fakes. But of course, this did not sit well with the Hollywood elites who are obsessed with the latest technology. They see Keanu's refusal as a threat to their power and control. But Keanu is not just standing up for himself. He is standing up for every actor who could be replaced by a digital version of themselves in the future. It is a bold move, and it has certainly not made him any more popular with the people running Hollywood. But Keanu does not care about that. He is not going to compromise his principles just to stay in the industry's good graces. And his stance on technology does not end with deep fakes. Keanu has also spoken out about AI-generated art and music. While some people are excited about the possibilities of AI, Keanu is not buying into the hype. He has raised concerns about what these technologies mean for the future of creativity and culture. Who is really in control of these AI-generated works, and what value do they have if they are not made by humans? Keanu sees a future where art and culture are manipulated by machines, and he is not about to sit back quietly and watch it happen. This kind of thinking makes Keanu a bit of a rebel in Hollywood, where the next big thing is always more important than preserving artistic integrity. Hollywood is a machine that thrives on control, and anyone who does not go along with that machine gets labeled as difficult or stubborn. Keanu has been called both of those things, but let us be real. Those are just code words for he will not be controlled. Keanu has always done things his way, even if it meant losing out on big roles or not being the most popular guy in the room. Whether it is turning down a paycheck for a bad sequel or refusing to let technology take over acting, Keanu has never been afraid to walk his own path, and that is why Hollywood has tried and continues to try to push him out. But the thing is, you cannot push someone out if they do not need you. Keanu Reeves is not in this for fame, money, or approval. He is in it because he loves what he does, and he is going to do it on his own terms. That is why his fans love him so much. He is not like everyone else in Hollywood. He is real, he is genuine, and he is not about to sell out just to make the industry happy. And honestly, that is what makes Keanu Reeves so special. While Hollywood tries to shape actors into something they are not, Keanu has always stayed true to himself. He is not interested in playing by the rules of an industry that only values control and power. He is here for the craft, for the love of acting, and for his fans. And that is why, no matter how hard Hollywood tries, they will never be able to push him out. Keanu Reeves is not going anywhere, and the fans would not have it any other way. And the truth is, that is just one more reason why Keanu stands tall as one of Hollywood's greatest outsiders. So if Fox Studios blacklisted Keanu, what does this mean for his future in the industry? Keanu Reeves' legacy. Well, let us be honest, it does not look like it has slowed him down one bit. Keanu Reeves has a lineup of exciting projects, and fans are eagerly waiting to see what he has been up to lately. Let us take a look at what is coming up. First on the list is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. That's right, Keanu is lending his voice to Shadow the Hedgehog in the next installment of this popular franchise. The movie is set to release on December 20th, 2024. Keanu's unique style and presence are sure to make Shadow a standout character. And let's face it, Keanu doing voice work is something we are all here for. Next up, John Wick 5. Yes, the saga of the legendary assassin might not be over just yet. While there is still some mystery around whether Keanu will return, Lionsgate is already working on the project. Plus, there is a spin-off film called Ballerina, starring Ana de Armas, where Keanu is confirmed to make a brief appearance as John Wick. Set to release in 2025, this one is going to be another hit. But that is not all. Keanu is stepping into the world of comics with Berserker, which is a live-action film based on the comic series he co-created. He will star as B, an immortal warrior working for the government. Netflix is producing the film, and there is even an anime spin-off in development. Constantine 2 is also officially in the works, with Keanu reprising his role as the iconic John Constantine. Fans have been waiting years for this one, and with director Francis Lawrence back on board, we can expect another thrilling, supernatural adventure. There are even more exciting projects like Rally Car, Past Midnight, and Good Fortune, a comedy featuring Keanu alongside Seth Rogen and Keke Palmer. And do not forget Outcome, a black comedy directed by Jonah Hill, where Keanu plays a former Hollywood star being blackmailed. With all of these exciting projects lined up, one thing is for sure, Keanu Reeves is not going anywhere. Whether he is voicing a video game character, starring in a comic adaptation, or bringing back a fan-favorite role, Keanu is still giving us his best and we are all here for it. So, which of Keanu's upcoming movies are you the most excited for? Tell us in the comments below. If you want to hear more shocking news, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because we have got a lot more of this. Thanks for watching.